Ruslan.
So today I am 36 years young. Yes, that's right, 36 young. I know you're thinking, goodness gracious, Ruslan, you look great for 36. I do look great. I did put on some of the COVID-19 and the pregnancy weight, and I feel great, man. I feel great. I feel clear. I feel focused. I feel humbled. And I feel like I'm personally in a great space. But whenever you feel like you're in a great space, there's always those like blind spots that you may or may not be aware of, right? And so, yeah, I turned 36, and this is interesting. Okay, so my birthday is New Year's Eve. What does that mean? New Year's Eve, right? When you are born on a holiday, I don't know if anybody watching this is born on a holiday. If you were born, I don't know, Christmas, anything like that, right? You develop this complex, and I call it the significant insignificant complex. The significant insignificant complex. You know, you're kind of unique, right? You're unique, and you are your birthday's on a cool day, and you're like, oh man, birthday's on a cool day, but you're not. You're insignificant because no one really cares to get together and do a birthday party on your birthday, right? Like it's not about you because it's your birthday. And so I think maybe because in the past, like I've really struggled with pride. Maybe God intentionally allowed me to be born on New Year's Eve so that I would kind of remain humble, because I've never really had like a party, believe it or not, especially as a kid. Never had a party as a kid, but as an adult, we've maybe gotten together maybe like a handful, like 5 or 6 times we've gotten together, done something for my birthday at like Dave & Buster's. Like I think last year, the year before, we were at Dave & Buster's. We've done it a couple times. My wife has been great. She's like done the surprise thing, drove us to Dave & Buster's, and that's been cool. But the vibe is always like, okay, it's 10 o'clock. All right, I gotta get to this other New Year's Eve party, right? And so, it's just a funny feeling, but it's good because you're always reminded that the world doesn't revolve around you, right? The world doesn't revolve around me. And again, maybe because of my temperament, it's a good thing for me. Like it's a good thing for me, right? So I don't mind it at this point. I used to never tell people it was my birthday, especially on social media, because I just didn't want the, oh, it's your birthday? I used to never, and I think I'm at a space now where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna embrace it. I'm gonna definitely embrace how old I am or how young I am, because I think it's good. Like, and especially when you are happy and content with where you are in life, right? Which is, I've been content for a long time just because of Jesus and my faith in Jesus. But this year, I've probably gotten the most amount of clarity. And I know this has been a hard year for many people, but for me, it started off as a hard year and then it transitioned and it became a very good year, primarily because all the distractions were gone, right? Like all the things that I thought I had to do as an artist, like travel, all the things I thought I had to do in my fitness, like, play basketball 3 or 4 times a week. Yep, was doing that. All of those things got stripped away. And then you're just kind of left alone with who you are in your life, and do you like how you built your life, and do you like where you live, and do you like who you're married to, and do you like your kids? And I was like, yo, despite me being distracted, I like my life. I like my wife. I like my spouse. I like my kid. Like, this year has been good to me, to say the least. And again, I don't mean to be insensitive to anybody that's going through a hard time or has gone through a hard time, but hopefully when everything is stripped away from you and you are faced with the sober reality of your real deal situation, you can gauge what changes you need to make, what adjustments you need to make, right? And so now as I'm going into 2021, I'm going in way more humble, right? Way more humble, way more on some like, work out your salvation with fear and trembling, right? like a lot of reverence, a lot of like, goodness gracious, I'm making a little bit more money, but I'm not gassed about it. I'm very reverent about like, this really ain't my money, this is God's money, right? We have another baby on the way. We're super excited about that. My wife is due in April. Very reverent, like, goodness gracious, God's allowing me the opportunity to bring another child into this earth. I cannot screw it up, right? And Levi is amazing, by the way, and my wife and me have done a fairly good job with Levi, but it's really like, yo, I have to be very reverent, very careful. There's more at stake. There's more eyeballs, not pressure. I don't feel any pressure, but I feel that, yeah, that reverent. That's, you know, when people say fear the Lord, it's not about like a scary movie fear. It's like have a reverence for who God is in your life. Have a reverence for what he's established for you to do and the work he's put in front of you. And there's always going to be work. Like, there's always going to be work, meaning that thorns and thistles, right? Since the very beginning, since the fall, our work is going to be work. Our work is going to be work. And no matter how cool our work may be, it's still work, right? And that's a byproduct of that. But we could find joy in that because we could only ultimately find joy in Jesus. And so those are just some of my reflections. You know, 36, I'm not where I want to be by any stretch of the imagination. If you would have asked me at 16, Ruslan, where do you think you'd be at 36? I'd be like, multi-millionaire, right? Like, I would have just gave you all of these things. And the truth is, I'm not where I want to be, but the goals are more refined. The direction is more clear. And I see what that bullseye is, right? I see where that bullseye is. And I say this all the time. I'm so grateful that I didn't reach success earlier on, because it probably would have ruined me. It probably would have destroyed me, or at least cost me more, right? Producing fruit out of season cost you more. What do I mean, right? That means that if you live in California, and California produces a lot of avocados, but if you live in California and you want avocado, which is a fruit, by the way, when it's not in season, you can get it. It's just gonna cost you more, right? You could finagle it, it's just gonna cost you more. But then when avocados are in season, they're easily available. They're right there. You drive down blocks in California and there's avocado stands, right? 20 avocados for $2 or whatever, right? And so, don't try to produce fruit out of season. Don't try to force stuff in your life, right? Know what season you're in. Are you in a season of development? Are you in a season of developing useful skills? Are you in a season of serving someone else and helping somebody else do their thing? Again, remember, before I went full-time with music, I paused on music and went and did music, not music, media at my church for 2 years, right? And then I quit my job and went into doing music, and then that's kind of shifted to this new space that I've been in probably the last 6 months. But it all worked together, it all connected together. But you have to be willing, to be honest and sober, and also willing to follow the opportunities, right? Willing to follow the opportunities that you can try to design your life the perfect way, but there's always going to be something. And I think if we're sober and we're honest and we have good people in our lives that'll give us wise counsel, older people, wiser people, people that genuinely love us, right? Not those folks that are like, yeah, they want you to succeed, but not be more successful than them, right? I'm not talking about them people. I'm talking about people that are okay with you being richer than them, okay with you being more successful than them. Those are the type, and those folks just tend to come with age, you know? Those folks tend to come with age. Like, older folks in my life tend to be that way. Or for some of my friends that are in different industries, non-media, non-YouTube, non-art industries tend to be that way. All of these things help, man. So hopefully, as I'm reflecting, it's allowing you to reflect in terms of maybe the decisions you need to be making and where you need to be going in this next season. And especially in this time where a lot of people are looking for a new revelation, a lot of people are looking for a new thing, and a new word, a new preacher, a new pastor, a new this, a new that. Have you done the last thing that God told you to do? Have you done the last thing that God told you to do? Because a lot of times we need to kind of go back to that last thing. Not all the time, but a lot of times. So hopefully this was helpful to you.
Kingstream Entertainment. Ruslan.
Ever noticed, y'all? Hit a protocol. Need an overhaul. Need an overhaul. I need an overhaul. Need an overhaul. We need an overhaul. Joshua the king came down and bore it all. Conversations front of the fireplace. I know a few things, never claimed to know it all. Conversations front of the fireplace. Joshua the king came down and bore it all. Conversations front of the fireplace. I know a few things, never claimed to know it.